Can I just ask you first and foremost, because you're the leading man in it, how did you prepare for it during off-season?
Oh, I get loads of. I mean, the whole, all the physical prep is amazing because you get to learn how to horse ride again. I got to learn to drive a horse and carriage, you know, and I don't drive, but I can now drive a horse and carriage, which is very useful. A bit of drawing as well. Like I love, obviously the dancing. There's like loads of all of those physical things are the more important prep. I think psychologically though, it's more just a question of just abandoning yourself to it a little bit and just sort of see where it goes. Actually, to be honest, for me, the work is about trying not to over-prepare, not to sort of like agonize over it or think about it too much. And I've been lucky because I've been in this show for, you know, a few years, and I've seen other people, you know, do that whole, play that role, I guess, in terms of the production. So I got to watch them and see what they did that was amazing. And, you know, I sort of like got to take notes, really.
The season's most notorious gentleman, Benedict Bridgerton, he must bow to that most powerful of forces, mothers.
You simply must marry. You have not met the right young lady.
And you're joining on a bit of a Cinderella-inspired story, aren't you, which we all know very well. Yes. Can you just talk to me a little bit about that aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in the beginning, the first half, it's definitely more of the Cinderella story. They meet at a ball, you know, they brisk away in a terrace, and he then is left with a glove and he goes and searches her. But then our story kind of takes the audience in a different journey. They don't immediately have their happy ending. So I guess in that sense, it's like a Cinderella with a twist, I always say.
Can you imagine how beautiful a ball would be?
How horrible it is to be on one's feet all night.
They will attend the ball tonight and they will not appreciate any of it.
Just once. Just have that feeling for one glorious night.
You could go tonight.
We would need to find me a good costume.
I mean, Benedict and Sophie, it's a bit of a slow burner, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely is a slow burner, yeah.
And then we go to the staircase towards the... I mean, you literally, Benedict just had us, and then he goes and asks her to be his mistress. I mean, when you read that bit, what did you think?
Well, it's in the book. So, you know, it is, and it is quite a striking moment in the book, and you do sort of think, oh, God, that feels very... I remember reading that, and this was obviously, the books obviously predate the show, and thinking, how do I square the guy who says that and the Benedict we know? But I think what's sort of extraordinary about the show and the writing of the show is that I think they've managed it. I think they've managed to sort of completely make sense of who Benedict has been in season 1, 2, and 3, and the reason why he, you know, why he gets it so spectacularly wrong. I think he's someone who is very nervous about the idea of giving himself entirely to something or someone. And he always has, but he's done it in such a sort of like charming maybe and you know, devil-may-care way that you sort of don't think of him as someone maybe who's anxious or nervous about that kind of stuff. But he is, and he gets it wrong.
Sophie, be my mistress.
And then Sophie just walks away, and we're sort of left with it. So, I mean, how does that set it up for part 2?
Guess.
How did they,
February 26th.
They're as far apart as they've
ever been. It's like the walls come back right up, and they're back to square one almost in a way. Like she's more scared, I think, to ever see him again more than ever before.
And that's always the lovely tension in a show like this, because you feel like you know somewhere that probably, hopefully it'll end happily. But in moments like that, you are like, but how? Like, it's nice to pull at that audience expectation.
And poor Sophie, because it's a bit left like on a cliffhanger kind of thing, because then Araminta moves in with her daughters next door. And I mean, that's a dynamic. Like, how is that going to complicate things for Sophie, that dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to constantly put her on edge. I feel like it's already hard enough for her to exist. And then just exist. And then now it's going to impact how she exists in her workplace as well now. So just constantly puts her on edge, and we'll see how it all pans out.
With a little imagination, the impossible seems possible.
It is all very well to dream, but Benedict, life is meant to be lived.
And we've got to talk a bit about the steamy stuff. The two of you, again, on the staircase, all of that. I mean, how did you work on the sexual vibe between you? Like, how was that preparing for that?
We have a coordinator.
Yeah, we do. Lizzie Talbot, she's amazing. And, well, really what's so great about the Bridgerton steamy scene, so you call it, it's really not there for the sake of it. They're actually there for an extension of a scene or an emotion. And, you know, she choreographs it in a way that I think helps drive the scene. And then we just kind of go from there. And it's like any other scene, really.
Yeah.
And I think if you overcomplicate it too much, then it becomes this other thing in your head. And actually you just want to be present, and she's there to mediate everything and make sure we feel safe. And also we had built a lot of trust at that point, so that also made it so much easier.
Agreed. I just think I don't understand the argument that you know, the intimacy coordinator sort of ruins some kind of spontaneity. I think it's the opposite. I think they facilitate it because they give you the framework and they give you the triangulation that's there as a security. Obviously, if people really, really trust each other and they want to, like, then fine. But it's really important to have, you know, the option, and also to have someone, because what feels good doesn't necessarily look good. It's true for not just sex scenes. And so, you know, you need an outside eye. And to be honest, in my previous experience, occasionally, directors can be a bit awkward about it. And then you're the one that's left having to do it. So it's really good, and actually it's honouring the fact that those scenes are story beats and they're dances. And particularly in Bridgerton, I think they are, I mean, I think the metaphor of the staircase, you know, like, it's not just a sex scene in a staircase. It is about, like, you know, it's this whole upstairs, downstairs thing, you know, like it does feel like you're doing something, that it has meaning.
What if he's looking for you?
He does not want to find me. He wants to find the lady in the silver gown, and she is not real.
And just going back to your character a little bit, is Benedict really just the blueprint of the guy who is not available, doesn't want commitment, and is just a playboy?
Yes, yes, but I think what's interesting and what makes him individual is that I think the way he is, yes, you're right, I think he is very afraid of commitment, but I think it's interesting that his way of avoiding it is not to sort of be, I think that's why he sort of like flinches a bit when people call him a rake.
I am charting a more venturesome course.
You're a rake.
I think his way of dealing with it is actually putting all this softness and sort of charm and easygoingness on the outside as a front. Yeah. So he is, you know, demonstrably very kind and sort of like sensitive and all of that, to hide that fear of commitment. So he's hid it better than a lot of playboys or stereotypical playboys have done in the past in stories. And I think that's nice because it's what makes him distinctive as a character, I think.
Just finally, what's your best tease about part 2?
Oh, best tease about part 2. More water?
More water.
I mean, there's always been water. More water.
More steam.
More steam. Yeah.
More evaporation.
More evaporation. That's what we've got.